I'm going to start the recording. And yes, Adrienne, I would like to follow you. I was just cued to follow you. I think I've made you all hosts. So welcome, everybody. We had a little bit of a bumpy start. We had some technical issues, but we're glad you're here. We're going to talk about our body images and dressing our different shapes. We're three very different women with different shapes. I'm Jennifer Connolly. I write A Well-Styled Life. And my co-hosts today are?
I am Pamela Lutrell, and I write Over 50 Feeling 40. And we are excited today to be joined by our friend, Adrienne Shubin. Adrienne, you write?
I write The Rich Life on a Budget, and it's a lifestyle blog. I live in wine country in Northern California, so I write a lot about places to go and things to see and eat and drink, but I also blog about wine country style because a lot of people are baffled about what to bring when they come to wine country. You really don't want to wear stilettos when you're tracing through.
Good point.
But you still want to look fashionable, so I try to help people with that.
Yes. And her blog always makes me want to go there.
It makes me want to move there. I can't tell you how many times we've looked at real estate up there.
Absolutely. It just makes you want to go there. And for our audience, because usually our blabs are for women styling over 50, and today it says for over 40, because Adrienne, tell us your age.
I'm 48.
Yay! So we have our young one with us today, and we want to thank everybody for joining us. We're so happy to have you here. We're going to do, Adrienne, we usually do this just for the fun of it, do a little red carpet moment. So Jennifer, tell us what you're wearing today.
Today I am wearing a Target t-shirt, which, as you know, I wear a lot of Target. I like it. And a Chico's jacket, and my newest, most favorite French candy necklace. I am in love with French candy. So dressed down today. I
wanted that necklace to come back home with me, but I was afraid you'd notice. So I
would notice.
Yeah, I would notice. Adrienne, what are you wearing today?
I am wearing a Stella Caricazzi poncho.
Oh, she's going to stand up and show us. Yeah,
oh, nice. Nice.
So it's very thin and nice for spring. So a lot of my ponchos are heavy wool or cashmere blend and just not good for this time of year. So this is a nice light one. It's from their spring collection this year. And then I've got a Cayenne Star necklace on. And then under,
very pretty.
I have a stretchy scoop neck, short sleeve top, and Off-White by Leslie Evers.
That is lovely. Very nice.
I'm representing a lot of women right now, which I love. I love to promote women-owned companies. It's really something close to my heart, especially small businesses. It's really
absolutely. And we all get an opportunity, I think, to do that. It's so much fun. There's so many great women out there designing clothing and jewelry and accessories, so many great things. So I love that. Stella's clothes are beautiful. They are
gorgeous.
And I am wearing actually an old red jacket. I say old, but it looks great. It's from something I picked up at Marshall's a few years ago. I'm going to lift this up. It's got some detailing on it there. And I love the details on it. And this is the week, I'll do a little plug. This is the week in San Antonio that we wear our bright colors and we wear our hats.
Yeah, you didn't warn me.
It's our biggest celebration of the year. It's a 125-year-old celebration. So in San Antonio now, this is the fashion. This is what you see everybody wearing. And I'm not going to wear it the whole time, but I had to show y'all what a Fiesta accessory looks like because they're fun. They're lots of fun.
Now, accessories make an outfit, don't they?
Oh, yes. Yes, absolutely. And Fiesta makes you smile, and your best accessory is a smile. So Adrienne and Jennifer and I represent three different body shapes for women. And all of us, I really think, y'all tell me if it's right, but I think that's the number one stumbling block for all of us. We look at something that we think is a challenge about our bodies, and it kind of shuts us down with how to make it look our best. And I want to say before we get going that no matter what shape you are, no matter what height you are, accept yourself as you are. And that's the first step on going forward, to look fabulous at the age you are, the size you are. And then you can learn how to dress and enhance your best features. So I tell you what, Adrienne, you're our guest today. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your challenges with clothing and your body shape?
So throughout my life, I have been tall. Even as a kid, I was the tallest in the class. I'm 6'2", and I'm very long-waisted. And I also have long legs and long arms and a long neck and everything. So clothes are a challenge, but I must say, thankfully, there's online shopping, which there wasn't when I was a teenager or even in my 20s. I can source a lot of retailers now online that have tall clothing. So that has been hugely helpful. But I've also, I struggle with just in general, dresses are really hard for me. Of course, pant length is difficult, but that's my biggest thing. And then I'm kind of large busted, so I've got that going on. And, I have some wide hips, and so there's a variety of things, but I'd say primarily it's because I'm so tall and much, much taller than the average American woman.
That's significant. I know I feel like I stand in a hole next to you, but I was reading, and when I read that you were 6'2", that's significantly tall. So when a woman of 5'10" says she's struggling to find pants the right length, you must struggle even harder. What have you found that works for you for finding pants the right length?
Tell us who some of those retailers are that you see do the best in this area.
So there's only really a handful that I go to as a resource. That would be Gap for my jeans, Banana Republic for slacks and things like that. Also J. Crew for jeans, and Ann Taylor once in a while. Although I don't find that Ann Taylor fits me as well everywhere else. One thing, we're not just talking about length. We are talking, I think, more importantly, it's the rise.
Yes.
If your rise is not on point, you're going to have some really big problems, with your pants too low or some other things going on. So it's rise and length, and I need also to have room in the thigh area. I don't have really big thighs, but sometimes I do run into problems when I'm wearing, thankfully most jeans have some stretch in them, so that helps a lot. But Gap is probably my main place for jeans. And
that's good to know.
What's that?
Do you have to use a tailor?
Not lately, I haven't been. I did get a pair of flare jeans from Gap, and this is the other strange thing. Okay, so tall sizes. I'm 6'2". I'm a very tall woman. I will order tall clothes sometimes, and they will come, and they are like ridiculous length. Where I'm like, who wears this? Women out there that must have 40.
Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah.
But so I do need to occasionally have things altered.
Okay.
It doesn't happen that frequently. And plus my lifestyle is very, very casual. So I don't have a lot of slacks in my closet. I don't have a lot of tailored stuff. So I rely a lot on jeans and, legging type pants in the wintertime.
It's interesting you talked about rise because I'm petite. I don't call myself petite, but I am 5'4", and I have a long torso and I have a high rise. I need a high rise on pants. Mm-hmm. So I can't buy petite clothes. And then when I go ahead and buy regular length, like a flare jean, I have to cut so much off the bottom that I lose the proportion of the jean. I lose the flare. Mm-hmm. So it's really a similar problem with the fit of a pant. And like you said, that having stretch in them makes a big, big difference, but you really can't alter or have an alterationist fix the rise. If the rise is wrong, you get those whiskers, you get the pulling, you can't, all you can do is cover it up. Right. The legs show. So yeah, the rise is hugely important. How about you, Pam? Do you find rise an issue for you at your body shape?
I'm 5'8". I used to be 5'8.5". Osteoporosis has taken a ½ inch, and hopefully no more. I'm trying to battle, so no more. But I don't have a lot of problems with length. There was a time that I was kind of in between talls and in between regular, and I would have to get the pants tailored. But I think in this, one of my favorite things to wear are the ankle links and the thinner leg pant and the ankle pants. I don't have any issues with those at all. Of course, what I'm battling is my wonderful size 16 and my lovely tire in the middle. And so I'm always looking for ways to look slimmer. And I've had to study how to dress to look slimmer. And that has just kind of been my life since I turned 50. I mean, I've lost three sizes. Right. And in my path to lose weight. So I'm still hopefully on the journey going down. But currently I've been at size 16 for a little while. And, you know, I learned recently that 45% of the women in America are size 16. I don't even I don't know.
45%.
That's a huge, huge number.
That is a huge number. Wow.
The thing that I think I've learned is not to get hung up on the numbers, and to get hung up on the fit. Fit is important, and in some clothing lines, an 18 might fit me better, or even a 14 might fit me better. Clothing lines are all different. Designers are all different, and you just shouldn't let the number tell you how to feel about yourself, but go for the best fit, because you might be in that size 18, but because of the fit, you look like you're a 10. So the fit is critically important.
It is, and too often women do pay attention to the size. They'll say, no, I won't try that on because that's a X, Y, or Z size, rather than, you know, giving it a shot and cutting the label out. If it ends up to be that's what fits you, don't let that define you or affect your confidence. You want it, like you said, to fit the best. And that's what's really the most important.
Exactly.
I'll often order jeans because, you know, jeans are a fuzzy thing to fit.
Yeah. And
I will order them in 2, sometimes 3 sizes, knowing that I will be shipping back, you know, 1 or 2 pairs. So that works for me because, like you, Pam, I'm kind of all over the board. I mean, I've got probably 4 or 5 different sizes in my closet right now that all fit me, because even within a brand, within Gap, one pair is an 8 and one pair is a 12, and they're both the same brand, but they fit me completely different. It has a lot to do with, you know, the cut. I have bigger hips. I'm going to need a larger, you know, than someone else. I'm going to need a larger size.
That's an excellent point about being in the same store, same brand, different sizes. That's an excellent point.
Especially when it comes, I hate to keep harping on jeans, but it's my life. I wear jeans all the time. But I will put on the jeans and wear them around the house pretty much throughout the day, and see how they wear as far as that stretch goes, because so many of them do have, you know, 1% spandex or lycra or something in them to make them stretchy. And so they might be really hard to get on at first, but, you know, an hour in and they fit great. Or too big and they're, you know, bagging in the rear end, which is always attractive.
Yes. Yeah. If there's not enough spandex, there's a real, very fine sweet spot about spandex and lycra, just getting the right mix. I remember reading that 6% was the right mix, but I don't know, because I've got things with less that are fine and things that are more that are fine. So just like you said, depend on the pant, completely depend on it. But I like pretty much everything in my entire wardrobe to have stretch these days. Even this, you know, denim jacket has got some stretch built into it. It just makes wearing the garments so much more comfortable than the old-fashioned woven.
Plus, I don't know about you guys, but some days for instance, I'm going to use my rings as an example. Some days my wedding rings come off, no problem. Over the weekend, I was retaining water for some reason, and I was going to get out the butter stick and try to.
Windex works better.
I thought of that too. And it really hurt to get them off. And then, of course, that also meant that, you know, I had some other issues where my pants were tighter than normal. And I think that's when it's good to have, something with some give that you can wear that isn't a sweatpant or yoga pants or something, something stylish that you can still feel good in.
Exactly.
We're really lucky. We have so many options now that we didn't used to have, especially with the stretch. But some brands will stretch way out quickly and they're not flattering, and some brands hold them well. And so you just have to, shopping can't be done quickly. It has to be, you have to really, it's an art these days. You really have to try things on and to figure out what brands work the best for you, because they're all so very different.
And I have found that price is not always an indicator. I have a pair of pants that I was given by a brand to style, and they were fabulous. But 2 hours after I was wearing them, they were just completely bagged out, and they, and I let them know that I'm not gonna blog about this because it's not something I would want to recommend to my readers. And yet I have things that are super, super inexpensive that fit well and stay fitting well. So price isn't necessarily an indicator for that.
Right.
That's you just have to try them. Like you said, you just have to try them. And I'm impressed, Adrienne, that you can buy jeans online. I buy a lot of things online. Shoes I try to buy online because I have really difficult feet, and I will order 3 sizes because I'm not sure which one is going to fit, and send them back. And I know there's a lot of stores that offer free shipping both ways, so take advantage of that. Take advantage of that, free shipping to be able to try things on at home that you may not find in your local store. So
I don't have the choice of buying pants at go out shopping and buy pants. That's why I get kind of, I had my luggage lost / stolen, whatever happened to it last fall. To Seattle. And thankfully, I was wearing a pair of jeans on the plane that I really liked, so I wore those every single day I was there. And but let's say that I wasn't, and I had nothing, and I needed to go shopping, I would need to just do like a skirt and a top, or find capri pants or something, because I can't go to a store and just buy a pair. They carry them online, so I'm really grateful.
Well, a lot of stores do that. I'm surprised. I guess they just don't have that many tall women that walk in. But I know another store, Soft Surroundings, they carry their talls online. So that surprises me that so many are doing that.
Well,
all retailers that like Long Elegant Legs, Long Tall Sally, which I think Long Tall Sally bought Long Elegant Legs, and you might be surprised that I've never bought anything from those stores. I don't know why. I think it's just it's not a height thing as much as it's just a
the name.
That'll do
it. Come on, it's a kind of a goofy name. They make a great product. But
I guess my concern.
Don't send letters, please.
Yeah, I'm a little tired.
My concern is that it will be one of those just like ridiculously tall, long sort of thing. I mean, I should give them a try because I think that their style has improved, and it looks like their quality's improved too over the years. But I don't know. I guess you just get set in our ways. And Gap, Banana, Old Navy, J. Crew, they've just been my go-tos. And I kind of, I think it's a good idea, and I should do this myself, to try brands that you haven't tried before and see if they work for you or not. Just kind of try to increase that. Jen, like if you have a brand that you go to because it works for you, being petite and long-waisted, there are probably other brands out there that would be really great. So you just have to kind of keep trying.
Experimenting.
But at the same time, it means a lot to have those that you can trust,
Yeah.
and that you look good in, and you can trust the fit, and you can trust that it fits your budget. And I think it is good to branch out, but it's important to me to have those fallbacks that I know are going to work no matter what. Now,
Well, but you say, the thing is, I actually worked at Ann Taylor many years ago, probably, I'm not even going to say how many years ago. And at that point, their fit model fit me perfectly. I could just buy their clothes right off the rack and wear them. And now, obviously, my body's changed because I'm turning 60 this year, but they changed their fit model. And all of a sudden, their clothes didn't fit me. There was just something about the proportion of the hip to the rise, to the width, the amount of fabric they put in the thigh. So you have to be aware of that too. If you've got an old favorite that you're wearing and you've always been able to wear them, and all of a sudden that brand doesn't fit you anymore, it's not your fault. It's not your body. No. They've changed their fit model or something, something like that. So branch out.
Gap does that all the time. So my favorite jeans that were lost in the luggage, the Always Skinny 1969, I loved those jeans immensely, and I was not wearing them that day on the plane. I went to go buy them again. Completely different. They are completely different. And I was able to find other jeans that they weren't, they just aren't like those, So it's too bad that they do that, Like the quality wasn't as good as before. And they were a couple years old, so I understand that. But, you hope that it's going to be better, not, lesser quality.
Not worse. Yeah.
Like the new version.
Okay. I hear an echo, so I'm going to pop off and pop back on. So continue on, ladies.
Okay, Adrienne, I would describe you as a trendy lady, someone who loves a little touch of trend. And I love it when you and your daughter do the daughter version and the mom version. I think that's great. But what are the challenges of this wonderful tall physique you have with trends? What things can you go toward, and what things do you stay away from?
I hesitate to embrace trends that have anything to do with a big, bold pattern. I can do very tiny little patterns. So if I'm going to do a floral, it'll be maybe some a certain little area of embroidered floral flowers or something, or a very tiny print. And I just, I love the trend of the spring dresses with all the flowers, and I just don't feel comfortable in that. I feel like a walking wall of wallpaper or something. I don't know.
That's a good way to say it.
And other trends, I don't know. I don't really think of myself as being too trendy, but I like to just do little bits of things. Like I really love the boho trend, and so I'll do maybe some fringe here and there, but I try not to go overboard. But that's all relative. So my idea of not going overboard, someone else might think that I'm really out there, but for my age or whatever. But I just wear what I love, and then sometimes I do look back and go, oh, what was I thinking with that one?
Why didn't someone tell me?
Have to find out for myself. And so I don't invest a lot in trendy things because I just I don't, that's not how I operate. So I'd rather invest money into a really nice handbag that I know I'll carry for many, many years, or a great pair of, everybody needs a great pair of black pants, or and then the more trendy things, once in a while I will splurge on something, but for the most part, I try to keep those trendy things on the light end of the budget.
Yeah.
What about you, Jennifer? Trends with a petite woman?
I see trends and I hear about trends, but I make sure that they fit my style recipe, and they seldom do. So like Adrienne, I believe in investing in quality pieces, the black pant, the black cashmere V-neck, the nice handbag, the good shoes that I will wear. And I wear things, which actually makes it a little bit difficult to be a fashion blogger sometimes, because I wear things over and over again. I repeat my outfits a lot. If I get an outfit right, I will repeat it a lot. So I don't really follow trends. When I worked in the boutiques, I did, but I don't so much now. And perhaps it's because the trends that are there now, I did already in the 70s. And so I'm just not wanting to delve back into that. And so I'm sure there's a lot out there for the petite woman. I absolutely have never shopped in a petite shop because I've got long arms, I've got a high rise, and the pants are always about a half an inch too short. So so I haven't ever shopped in a specific petite store. And like Adrienne, I don't wear the florals. Just I feel like a grandmother in them, and I am a grandmother, but I feel like it just doesn't work for me. I love it and can appreciate it on other women, but for me, I feel really uncomfortable in it. And I think if you're really petite, you've got to be careful of things that might make you look silly. It's easy to be seen as silly and inconsequential if you're little and you're dressed in an overly silly way. So, it's just not part of my personality, but for the short woman, I think she needs to be aware of that.
I think so many times trends draw attention to the trend or the clothing, and I want my style to draw attention to me. I want to enter the room, not the trend enter the room before me. And that's why I've gotten to where I try to stay away from them so much. Now, the only time I shopped in a specialty line was when I was size 2022, when I began my makeover journey. And again, that was 3 or 4 sizes ago. And it was really Lane Bryant that saved me, because I went into several oversized plus size shopping stores, and the clothes were so frumpy. And I won't use the word grandmother, but they were aging. They were heavy. They look like muumuus. Remember muumuus?
Yes. I wore them, through my entire pregnancies.
Yeah, they look like that. So Lane Bryant, when I went in there were youthful clothes that I could style in cool ways and feel youthful and feel good about my size at that time. I'm happy and sad to say I left Lane Bryant behind. So it was an important time of my life that they really helped me get through and feel good about myself, because you've got to dress the size you are and do your best to look as good as you can with the size that you are.
Yeah.
Mostly what I do is a lot of neutral bases, that column dressing style where you've got the black tank and the black pant or the black denim and a cool jacket on top. And for me, seams are important. I'm always looking at seams. I don't want the baggy flowy as much as I want the seams that'll make me look a little thinner than I am. And I do, and that's one of the ways I try to draw attention to the figure that I have. Jennifer has informed me I'm an hourglass. I didn't really know that, and she helped me understand my shape a little bit better. But when I fit those neutral bases and then put a great garment on top, I feel so much better. But for some reason, florals and polka dots and lace make me feel older. I don't know why, but and there's some beautiful garments made out of all those things, but when I put them on me, I'm 62, and when I put them on, I feel 80 or 90, and I just don't want to feel that way. So I want to feel 40, but I avoid those for myself, but I've seen other women wear them really well.
For the short woman, the other thing too is, the older I've gotten, the longer the armhole I need, and yet a regular armhole is frequently too long for me. So I spend a fair amount of money altering my clothes to make sure that the armhole sits at the right part, and there's almost not a dress or a skirt that I could ever wear without hemming, because they hit me at the wrong spot, and I want to be sure that they hit me at the most flattering spot. And hemming something by 2 inches can make me look 6 inches taller. People are frequently surprised when they meet me that I'm short. They don't understand that I'm short because I guess I don't look short. Maybe it's the way I angle my camera, I'm not sure. But being short, I've always wanted to be taller. Always wanted to have that extra 4 or 6 inches, and just think that everything would fit me.
Yeah, we always want it. If we don't have it, we want it. So.
Yeah, and if I was 4-6 inches taller, I still would probably be altering things to fit my body anyway, because I have long arms, my legs are short from the knee down, and I long-waisted. It all makes a difference. So it's not that I spend a fortune at the tailor, but if something matters to me and I've spent money on it, then I'll pay to have it altered, because it makes a big difference.
It's worth it. The fit is critically important. Okay, ladies, tall women tend to want to be short. Short women tend to want to be tall. Large women, round women tend to want to be skinnier. Let's address that for Adrienne, for the woman who is taller that would say to you, there is no way I can look good above 6 feet. What do you say to that woman?
I think that would be so sad. I love being tall. I wear heels if the outfit calls for it, so I don't mind being a few inches taller than I am. I mean, I'm 6'2", so what's 6'4", 6'5", really? On the big scale. I would just say to, there are a lot of blogs out there that are specific to tall women. I chose not to go that route because I do fashion, but I didn't want to focus just on the tall part. So it's more important for me to focus on lifestyle fashion in general. But there are plenty, if you go on Instagram and use hashtags like tall fashion and things like that, there's a lot of inspiration out there and a lot of ideas. There are tall women who are sewing their own clothes because they can't find things to wear. And then there's a lot of very, very small brands that cater to tall women. I would just say experiment, and there's nothing you can do about your height when you're tall. I used to fantasize as a kid that they would come up with some kind of surgery that would, remove part of my legs, or, just when I was really little. I'm not talking like teenager, but, like, I was applaud for being tall. And I knew with the father who was 6'9" and a mother who was 5'11", chances are pretty good that I was going to be extremely tall. So I really don't. Other people focus on me being tall, but I really don't at this age. It's not, it's an asset, I think, for me. And I choose to look at it that way, so.
That's great. How tall is your husband?
He's 6'7".
Okay. Great. That's
so
good.
You can wear the heels and still be shorter than him.
Yes.
I like that kind of height on a firefighter. I think that's important. So.
Yeah, I do too. Fire chief, he's a chief, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have a joke that because we're both so tall and people notice that a lot, we have a joke that's the only reason we married each other is because he's tall, or that's only I actually was engaged to a guy who was 5'9" many years ago. So that's never really been something I thought was hugely important. It's nice for sure, but
that's not why you married him. And it's funny because I'm 5'4" and my husband is 6'4", and because of my feet, I can very seldom wear any kind of heel. I mean, this weekend at the BAM conference, I did wear a short block heel. But I bought the shoe. I took it to the shoemaker on the way home from Nordstrom's, and I had him lob half an inch off the heel. And I do that to every pair of heels that I buy because they just make them much more comfortable. It makes me settle a little bit further back onto the heel rather than slanting forward onto the toe, and it's much easier on my feet. And it doesn't change the look of the shoe at all. No one can tell that I've done it. So I don't think a lot of women are aware you can do that to a shoe. But it's a friend. My cobbler is my friend and my tailor is my friend. So yeah, I mean he towers over me if we dance, and we try not to because we're really bad. It's funny looking because I'm so much shorter than him. It's really goofy. It is. And
really
I
think goofy. A lot of women forget that we're in control of the clothes. The clothes aren't in control of us. So you can't go to a tailor. You can go to a cobbler. You can make changes so that if you love something and it's not fitting well, you can make changes so that it will fit well and you can look your very best. So that's very, very important. And I just try to encourage, you know, who I think has done so much for plus size women is Melissa McCarthy, because she has such a great attitude. She now has this wonderful clothing line, but her attitude of joy and loving yourself no matter what size you're at and getting out there in front of the cameras and having a great job. And it, you know, I could not lose weight until I accepted myself as I was. And when I finally did that and started dressing the body I had, and I saw that I could look good and I could enjoy myself, then I was motivated to lose weight. That helped me so much when I was despondent and wearing, I used to walk around in this huge man's polo shirt and these awful frumpy mom shorts just because I didn't feel good about my size. But when I changed that and accepted who I was at that moment, then I was able to lose weight. It was so liberating, really. It was just wonderful. Yeah. So I encourage you, if you're feeling bad about that, to let it go and to start dressing the body you have right now. It makes such a huge difference. And don't get stuck in that. Laurel Hill, I had no idea you could shorten the heels on a shoe. You can, Jennifer.
You can. You can. Not only that, if you can take a pair of leather shoes that fit you perfectly, that happen to be the wrong color, and he can change leather shoes to be any color you want. I was picking up my shoes, and there was a lady dropping off a pair of the most hideous yellow shoes I had ever seen. The shoes were fine, but the color was awful, and he was making them a pumpkin color for her. Wow. And I was surprised. So I asked her, and she said, I never look at the color of a shoe anymore, unless it's black. He can't lighten a black shoe. But I have him color my shoes to whatever color I want them. And she wasn't doing them to match a gown like at a wedding or being a bridesmaid. We're not talking about that. These were regular leather shoes, and he was dyeing the leather to be a color that went with a beautiful handbag that she had. So there's a lot that can be done. Right. Pam, I wanted to ask you a little bit more about dressing the larger size women. You said you do use the column of color, which I do to help me look taller. But what else do you look for when you are styling your shape to help you look slimmer or however you want to look?
Directing the eye certain places is very important. And I mean, right now when I look at you, my eye goes right to that French candy necklace. And
can't have it.
I want it, but okay. But that's where the eye goes, and having accessories at the top will bring the eye line up. Having a great neckline. I love a V-neck. I love a collar. Mm-hmm. Again, little details to bring the eye up. I try to always go for seaming, and the column dressing is so that you look like a cool, tall glass of Adrienne Shubin. So you look like a cool, tall woman, and it's just directing that eye down, and it doesn't stop in the middle. I really try my best not to break up proportions. Proportions are real important for the larger woman. I love Mary Jane shoes, but I don't wear them because those straps cut me off right there. I'm going to look better if I wear the black tank with the black pants than I'm going to look if I wear a different colored tank with the black pants, because I chop off right where I don't want to chop off.
Right.
And I love long necklaces, but the necklace, the length I want is just beneath the bra, because if it goes too far down to where my tire is, I'm not skinny like Adrienne. Adrienne's got on a beautiful necklace that's going to take you down there, but it's not going to stop where the tire is, like where my tire is. And so I try not to go that far down there. And I will say, the more I go to the gym, the better the tire gets. So I am working on it. And it's all about where you want the eye to go, and it flowing in a nice fit, in a nice style. Now, I love tunics. I love oversized garments. I love ponchos. I love a lot of those things, but I'm learning more and more that some of them just don't work. And that high-low hemline,
Yeah.
so popular. I bought several of those, and then one day I finally looked in a three-way mirror and saw the size of my little bow hunky back there, and that hemline enlarges me in the back. And I feel like I want to look good coming and going. So I don't wear it unless I wear them with a jacket that's covered up that hemline in the back. Are there styles that you avoid, Adrienne, or that you, because they're just not going to enhance your body shape the way you want them to?
Well, I want to say something about. Uh-oh, is that me?
Yep. There you are.
Should I log off, Jen?
Try again.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Feedback or no? Okay, good. The high-low asymmetrical hemline really works well for tall women because it does break up that linear line, you know. And I also use the column dressing method, even though I am very tall, mostly because it's a great formula that works for me. So I'll take a black top and a black pair of pants, and then I can layer anything from a short jacket to a long cardigan to a poncho like what I'm wearing right now. And so I kind of think of myself as a really lazy dresser. And so I like to have little formulas like this so I don't have to think too hard about what to wear. I just kind of start with that foundation. I'm sure a lot of people do this too, but I just start with that foundation and then I build on top of that. Because I get overwhelmed if I see other bloggers, for example, and I love their style and I love their outfits, but I think there's so much layering and accessorizing and all of this stuff going on, and it just looks so fabulous on them. And to me, it makes me want to go to that give up place, like, oh, I could never do that, or I just don't have those talents. So if I stick with the formula that works for me, like you, Pam, with the column dressing, that's great. But I find if I add an asymmetric piece to it, whether it's a tunic or I start with a skirt. In fact, on my blog yesterday, I have a black skirt from Stella Karakazi that has a very architecturally interesting hemline, and that works for me. Mm-hmm. But on someone like Jen, I don't know if that would. I mean, it could if it was at the right hem length, don't you think?
That's exactly the point. It has to be at the right hem length. And for those items that have got really interesting hemlines, it's hard for my tailor to alter them. So, right. They have to hit me in the right spot. And a lot of designers don't make petites. And so I love asymmetrical lines. Asymmetrical lines are really dramatic. They're very slimming. They're just fun. They draw the eye, but I have to be very careful where they are. Now, the high-low hem from the front to the back has never been popular with me because I don't like to see the inside of a garment. I'm just anal that way. And that you're looking at the inside of a garment. You're looking at the seaming.
Oh, funny.
Yeah. So, but things that slash sideways, I do like. So it's just it has to be just right for me. Like you, I frequently will just start with a black center, a top black tank and a black pant, and then can dress that up and down. And that's one of the reasons I can travel in one suitcase for 3 weeks, one carry-on suitcase, is because I will wear a column like that inside and then switch it up. And it's not a memorable column. It's basics that someone would not recognize. And then the outside piece, the third piece, that's the one that you would recognize again. And oh, well, she's wearing that vest. I saw that vest. Where the column, the black pants and the black top inside, or the white pants and white top, you wouldn't recognize them if I changed out the accessories and made them look different. So that allows me to invest in a little bit more money in my core wardrobe, and then play a little bit more with the accessories. They don't have to be as expensive because they're not going to be worn that long. It's kind of like the woman that's going to, she's going to a black tie function and she'll spend $800 on an outfit for it and she'll wear it once or twice. Well, for me, that doesn't make sense. I got married. I didn't get married. My daughter got married. Oh yeah, I got married actually in a gown from the Limited. But that was 38 years ago. It wasn't any better of a store then. But for my daughter's wedding, I wasn't wearing anything over $200. I wasn't going to spend a fortune for a gown that I was never going to wear again. Mm-hmm. I would rather invest in a really good pair of shoes that are going to be super comfortable. Like you said, Adrienne, a good bag, a great pair of black pants, and spend my money there. So yeah, I think I got off track, but yeah, I love asymmetric lines, but they have to hit me in the right spot.
Yeah.
And
sure, yeah, and I want everybody listening to get this picture. Okay, we traveled together. So we're at the airport. Pam gets off the plane. She has on a shirt that she's totally wrinkled out traveling, and a nice necklace. I had on a really cool necklace, but I always overpack. So I've got this huge suitcase that I go to get, and then I've got a huge bag with all my technological laptops, iPads, everything in it that's heavy. And here comes Jennifer. Jennifer with her one perfectly packed bag. She has on a gorgeous hat, a beautiful necklace. Looks like she's walking out of the pages of Vogue, coming down the airport. So we make quite a pair when we're traveling together. And I have to say, she wins. She's who I want to be when I grow up. And she always looks super stylish. Adrienne, you wear hats well. You look lovely in hats.
I do. I love hats. I have a big head, though, on top of being tall. So sometimes I have to try on a lot of hats before I find one that fits me. And sometimes I'll wear men's hats, too. I have an Australian Outback.
Oh, I love that hat.
I just love that thing.
Yeah.
And it was, yeah. And that's
a great hat. Well, you have a particularly great hat shop by you. The hat I was wearing was the one I bought up in Napa when I was up with you. The funny thing was when we got to the hotel, I had to call down for them to set up 12 additional hangers, and Pam all of hers were already on hangers, and she just hung them up. So
all right, I won one thing. Okay.
Exactly. You don't wear hats, do you, Pam?
I don't, and it may be a cultural thing. It may be that women in California wear hats more than women in Texas do. I love hats, but for some reason, I always feel real self-conscious in them because there's not a lot of other women that are wearing them. I would love it if more did, because I really do love them. I've bought a couple, and they pretty much sit in my closet.
Yeah.
So, but I bought what?
You have to be in the mood. You have to be in the mood to be noticed, because no matter what your height or your age or anything, when I learned this as a young girl, 12, 14, I went to a charm/modeling school, and the owner of the agency would always tell us, tell us that it was a good thing to turn heads and to be noticed when you walked into a room. And she said the surefire way to do that is to wear a hat. Everybody looks at the woman wearing a hat who enters the room. So you kind of have to be in the mood for that, which I'm not always in the mood for that, but but I do like wearing hats. And in the summertime, or even 9 months out of the year around here, wearing a straw hat is also great for protection. So it's, so it serves many purposes.
And I break the rules with hats. Being short, being 5'4", I should probably just wear mid-brim hats. But I prefer really wide hats because I use them for sun protection as well as impact. For me, a hat, is protecting my skin, but it's also, if I'm going to make a statement, I'm just going to make one. I'm not going to tiptoe into a statement. I'd rather make a statement. So I wear really big hats, and I like them. They just, I put them on my head and I wear them. I think the secret with a hat is you put it on and you forget it's there, and you'll be reminded because somebody will comment on how great you look in your hat. Basically.
Oh, that's good advice. I like that. Maybe I'll get a hat and walk around. That's good advice. I do have this great parasol that I love that I won on this great blog called Rich Life on a Budget. And it's a wonderful parasol. Oh, I think that was a year ago or so.
I think like 3 years ago. That was
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great parasol. I use it a lot because we're heavy sun in South Texas, and it's wonderful. It's so good.
I remember I didn't win it. I went out and bought it after you won it. Yes, it's a great parasol. It is a great parasol.
One of the perks of following blogs is that you can win giveaways. So I highly recommend to those of you who are listening, if you're not following some of these blogs, that you do, because they do have great giveaways and great advice. So something that Jennifer and I are all about is encouraging women to have confidence and to walk into rooms with confidence. We just feel like confidence is the most important message. So as we get close to the end here of our blab, Adrienne, what do you say to the tall woman that might help her increase her confidence?
Stand up straight. As much as you want to, your petite friends and you can't hear them, and I've been very conditioned to hunch over as a youth. I did that, and in college too. And whenever I'm not feeling very confident or maybe a little nervous about walking into a room or something, I just remember to stand up straight and keep my shoulders back and, walk with confidence. And, even if you're not feeling confident, it's a fake it till you make it kind of thing. And I really do feel like it makes me feel stronger and better about myself when I stand tall. I'm not going to be any shorter if I hunch. I'm 6'2". That's just not going to work. It's going to make me look like I don't feel good about my height, and I do feel good about my height. So posture is very important.
Good for you. Jennifer, how can the petite woman feel confident?
Exactly what Adrienne just said. Stand tall. It's not going to make me any taller, but it's going to make me feel more confident and look more confident. The more confident I feel about how I look, it builds on itself. If I'm feeling down, like you said, Adrienne, I just put a smile on my face and tell myself I look great. I'm careful to monitor what my inner voice is telling me and go out there and just present myself the best way I can. And even though I'm little, I'm mighty.
Oh, I like that. Little and mighty.
Yeah.
Not Mighty Mouse, but little and mighty.
No. No, but powerful. There's a power in confidence.
Absolutely.
And if you enter a room feeling confident, you also feel powerful, and it shows on the outside. And it, more importantly, the what it does for your insides is what matters to me. Feeling confident is a really empowering feeling. So, how about you, Pam?
What I want to say to the plus size woman is accept yourself and choose today to look your very best today. Make sure you get a good bra fitting, because pulling those girls up, you'll lose 10 pounds. You'll be amazed. And so you've got to look good from your foundations up, and study. I became a student. I read style books. I watched videos. Now you can listen to blabs. Become a student of learning little tips and little tricks that will help you look and feel your best at the size you are right now. Don't listen, like Jennifer said, don't listen to those negative voices. Life is short. Choose today to look your best today and take it one day at a time. And put that confident smile on your face. It makes such a huge difference. Well, ladies, this has been fun. I'm so glad
you been fun.
It's great.
It's been a lot of fun. Enjoyed it.
Well, we'd love to have you back sometime. And just so everybody knows, we're going to be changing a little bit. We're going to be recording the blabs probably on Sundays, Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening instead of Tuesday, because I'm about to go back to an office and work full time for a women's magazine here in San Antonio. So we're going. Thank you. I'm excited. We're going to be filming that on Sundays, and then you can always look for our recordings. We'll have this recording up soon. And please always feel free to send any of us. I'm sure Adrienne would love to hear any ideas or questions that you have of how we can help you. how we can help you to feel and look your best. We would love to be able to do that. So thank you so much for being with us today, ladies. You have a great afternoon.
Thanks, ladies. Adrienne, thank you. It was a pleasure to have you.
Bye.
Take care. All righty. Bye-bye.